Good morning, students. The next topic is objects and classes in Java. So in this topic we discuss what is object, what is class, and how instance variable are available in Java, methods, and we will see some examples, and finally anonymous object. Okay. So what is an object? So we already discussed about object, and it is a basic of object oriented programming. Okay, so we'll discuss in depth here. So an entity that has a state and a behavior is known as an object. Okay, so what it means? So a state and a behavior, if it consisting, that is called as an object. So you can take any real time examples like a pencil, apple, book, bag, board, chair, bike, marker. Okay, anything can be treated as an object. Okay, so object may be a physical one, or maybe sometimes it is logical one. Okay, so maximum it is a physical, and sometimes it may be logical. So that can also be defined like a tangible, intangible. Tangible means which we can touch and feel, that is actually tangible. Which we cannot touch and feel is called as an intangible. Okay, so maximum an object is a tangible thing, sometimes it may also be a logical or intangible. Okay, so if you want an example of intangible things, so that is a banking system. So we have a banking systems, right? A different banking system like SBI, Axis Bank, ICI. Okay, so all nothing but so we know the existence, but we can see. Okay, so that is nothing but a banking system, intangible object. So when comes to the characteristics of object, there are three characteristics. One is a state, behavior, and identity. So state represents the data or nothing but a value given to an object. Okay, how we can give a value, literal to a variable, right? In the same way, value to the object is simply called as a state. And next one, behavior represents the like a functionality. So for example, a pen is for writing. Okay, so like that we have a behavior here, human. Okay, we are actually presenting some behavior, right? So that is nothing but a functionality of an object. Okay, so for example, if you take a banking system, so deposit, withdraw, well, so all nothing but transactions, all nothing but behavior. Okay, so the third one is identity, very important. Okay, so an identity is typically implemented by a unique ID. Okay, so how can we can identify, or maybe a system or JVM can identify an object by with the help of a unique ID. And this also cannot be seen by the programmer. This is specific to a JVM only. Okay, not visible to the user. Okay, so it is internally created and used by the JVM for the identification of each object uniquely. How you have a roll number, right? So like that, an object has an identity. Okay, so when it comes to the characteristics, state, a value, behavior, nothing but functionality, action, identity is nothing but an ID for identifying. Okay, so if you take a pen is an object, so pen, the identity is nothing but a name. Identity of a pen is nothing but a name, that is a Reynolds, if you for example. And a color is nothing but a state. Actually, color may be a white. And the next one, the pen is meant for writing, right? So writing is nothing but a behavior. Okay, so for a pen, if you take a pen is an object. So these are the three characteristics. Name means identity, color means state, writing means behavior. So object is an instance of a class. Okay, so what is if you want to define an object in simple manner, you can define simply an object is an instance of a class. Okay, so again you may have a doubt, what is a class? Okay, all we discussed in the introduction of object oriented programming, but we can recall and discuss in depth. So a class is a template or a blueprint from which an objects are created. Okay, so a class is just like a bulk thing, and how we can access that class is nothing but with the help of object. That's why an object is nothing but a instance of a class. In the same way, class is nothing but a collection of objects, like that we can define. Okay, so there are other definitions of object is also available. They are, object is a real world entity. If you take a pen, bag, board, chuck is all nothing but they are connected with the real time environment. Okay, and next one, object is a runtime entity. Runtime means when we think about a programming, we have a compile time as well as a runtime, right? So objects will create at runtime, not in the compile time. Okay, and the next one, the object is an entity which has a state and behavior, just we discussed, no? Okay, and object is an instance of a class. Okay, object is nothing but just like a key to the class. If you take a class as a locker, if you want to access the things in the locker, we need a key, right? So it's same as a key is same as a object is nothing but an instance of a class. Okay, so how we create an object in Java? So this is the syntax we have. So class name, object name equal to new class name. So there we can use a parenthesis. Okay, if it is nothing, if it is a class, it is a class name. Okay, alone we can say that this is a class name. If you add a parenthesis, it will become method. Okay, so this is the predefined syntax for creation of an object. So class, object name may be any name, and equal to assignment operator, new is a keyword, we will discuss. Class name, again we have to specify, but here we can mention the parenthesis. This is the predefined syntax for the creation of a class. Okay, now what is a new? So new is a keyword in Java. So the new keyword is used to allocate memory at runtime. Okay, we already discussed object will create a runtime, right? So whenever we want to create an object, we can use a new keyword, and it will help to allocate memory at runtime only. Okay, so object will create at runtime, memory also allocated at runtime only. Okay, so objects get memory in heap memory area. Heap memory and static memory, we have two kinds of memory in Java. So where static memory is used to store the temporary data. Temporary means like a local variables, reference variables. Okay, so that means the lifetime of things, element members may be short term. That means those can be temporary variables. Those can be stored in stack memory and in the form of LIFO, last in first out. Okay, when it comes to the heap memory area, the members whose will reside in the system are maybe they can be stored in. They take long time. They will be available in long time. Okay, so the existence will be long time. So those can be stored in the heap memory area. Okay, so stack memory for temporary data, heap memory for permanent data, like that you can take. So all objects get memory in heap memory. In the heap memory only the objects will store. Okay, in the runtime only. So runtime only we will create objects. Runtime only memory allocated, and that also they will store actually in the heap memory. Okay, so class name, object name equal to new class. And this is the way we can create a object, right? Here we can use the new. Okay, whenever you specify new means the memory will be allocated to the object given here. Okay, and if you split the syntax, class name, object name in one part, and object name equal to new class name. Okay, so how we declare a variables, int a equal to 10. How we can split it? Int a, that is nothing but a declaration of a variable. A equal to 10, that is nothing but initialization of variable. The same principle we follow here. Class name, object name, comma, so it is nothing but a reference variable. So if you specify int here, that is a data type, then it is called as a normal variable, instance variable or a local variable. Okay, so but here we are specifying class name. Class name means it is a reference variable. Okay, so whenever we define class name space object name, it just a reference variable, it is not a object. Okay, whenever you use a new keyword to allocate a memory like this, okay, then it is called as an object to the class. So until class name space object name, that is only treated as a reference variable only. Okay, not a local variable or instance variable. Why? Because we are not using any data type here. Here we are using class name. Okay, so that's why object name is treated as a reference variable to the class. Okay, so whenever you use object name equal to new class name, then the memory is allocated and then it is treated as that object name is treated as a object. Okay, so this is the predefined syntax for creating an object. When we split this statement into two parts, the half part is actually called as a reference variable creation. Whenever the second half part, whenever you use a new keyword, that means it allocates memory to the object, then we can treat object name as a object to the class name. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, so that is about an object. So object definition, characteristics, different definitions, creation, new keyword and all. And when it comes to the class in Java, so what is a class? From long ago we have discussed about class is nothing but a collection of objects, group of objects which exhibit common properties. Okay, if you take a pen is a class actually. Okay, so if you what are the different pens available? So Reynolds, Bidco. Okay, so these are the different pens available, right? All pens exhibit the same behavior. It may be black color or maybe blue, writing color. It may be white color, red color, blue color. So the color of the pen, okay, the color of the pen is different with the writing color. Okay, red pen is there, black pen is there, blue pen is there. And they are all meant for writing. So every object in the class exhibiting the common properties. Okay, so that is nothing but a class. A class is simply a collection of objects, or maybe it may be template or blueprint from which objects are created. Okay, and the next one, it is a logical entity. So it is a very important here. So logical entity, and it can be physical. Okay, so when it comes to the physical means which we can touch and feel or nothing but objects actually. Okay, so we can touch Reynolds pen, we can touch a Bidco pen. Okay, but when it comes to the logical entity, we cannot touch pen anywhere. We cannot find a pen as a physical thing. Okay, we can touch a Reynolds pen. Okay, those are objects. Pen is a class. In that pen class we have a Reynolds pen, Bidco pen. So those can be objects. Okay, so that's why what they define, a class is a logical entity, imaginary one, which we cannot touch and feel. But when it comes to the object will be always a physical one, tangible one. In some specific cases only it is intangible. Okay, and the next one, class. What is there in class? So actually objects are used to access the members of a class. Okay, object is nothing but an instance of a class. What it mean? Objects are used to access the members of a class. Okay, so then what are there in class? Class consisting fields, methods, constructors, blocks, nested classes and interfaces. Fields means just like a variable, methods means functions, constructor we will discuss, blocks means like a set of statements specified in block, maybe if block, for block. Okay, method is also a block, and a nested class within the class, and interfaces we will discuss later. Okay, all these are there in the class. Okay, all can be accessible with the help of objects. So class is a collection of objects. Object is nothing but instance of a class. Okay, so object is used to access the members of a class. What are the members? These are the members. Okay, and the next one, how to declare a class. We already know this, but again I am recalling. So class is a keyword, so use it to class all small case. So class is a keyword which can be used to create a class, and after space class name we define. So per flower brackets we can use, and we can define fields as well as methods. Okay, fields means variables, methods means functions, right? Okay, so the compulsory method is nothing but a main method here. Okay, so without a main method a class cannot be executed. So the syntax for main method is public static void main string arguments in that statements, that is also predefined. Okay, So what about a methods in Java? So a method is just like a function or maybe functionality, behavior. Okay, so if you want to perform some action, that can be represented in the form of a method. And what is the advantage of a method? A method, all we know in C. Okay, so don't get confusion with a method in C, method in Java. Okay, the maybe the syntax may change, but the overall description is same. Okay, the method is for defining a block of code. Okay, the purpose of our advantages of method is code reusability. Once we define, we can use anywhere, anytime. Okay, for any for whenever we want, we can use anywhere. Okay, so code optimization means best utilization, which means which we can define and we can access, and we can access many times. Okay, optimization. So that is the thing. And how to create a method in Java, we will discuss in the next class in depth. But the thing is, it is the same as C. Okay, syntax may differ. So how to define a return type, method name, parameters list. Okay, so in the parameters or argument list, what we have a data type with a variable name, so list of arguments. Okay, so the same concept is applicable here, but the syntax may change. Okay, so that is the thing. So when it comes to the examples of object class, so we have two examples. We can define a main within the class. Okay, so till now we see these kind of examples only. We can define a main within the class. So I added a set of comments here. So Java program to illustrate how to define a class and fields. Okay, so class student, class all small case, it is a keyword, and student escapes. Why? Because it is a naming convention. The name of the class should start with a capital letter only. So we define just a class, student class, and after that we use a flower bracket. There we can define a fields. Fields means variables. Okay, so int data type, id, name of the variable, string. So you remember, whenever you use a string anywhere, here also anywhere you use a string, S should be capital. Why? Because the string is class, so class name should be capital, right? So string is not only a data type, it is also class in Java. That's why not like a int. So if it is a int data type, in I should be small only, float small only, double small only. But when comes to the string, it is a data type as well as a class also. So that's why string S always should be capital. Okay, so string name is the variable name. Okay, so these are nothing but fields are data members or instance variables. Are these instance variables? Yes, we discussed about variables. There we learn variables are of three types. One is a local variable, one is instance variable, other is static or class variables. What is a local variable? When we define a variable within the method. Okay, within the method, those are called as a local variables. When we define a variables in the outside of a method, those are called as a instance variables. So these are defined inside the class but outside the method. Okay, so that's why those are called as a instance variable. Okay, next one, main method creation. Okay, we are not defining other methods than main method, only defining a single method, that is a main method, that is a compulsory method, and it follows the predefined syntax: public, static, void, main, all small cases and have separated with a space, and again string, in parenthesis string, escapes should be there, and arguments, array brackets we can use. That is a predefined syntax. I will explain each and every keyword meaning. Okay, so so we can have to create an object. How to create an object we already discussed now. So class name, object name equal to new class name. Okay, so here class name, what is the name of the class? As student, space object name. Object name is user choice, S1, S2, S3, S alone. Okay, equal to new is a keyword which is used to allocate a memory for the object. So again you can specify the student, but we have to use the parenthesis here, right? So creating an object of a student, this is the way you can create an object. Okay, now printing values of an object. Okay, so how to print the values of an class. So here these are the variables, right? So int id string name. So how to access means with the help of, so here outside of the method we can define. How to access them means with the help of object only. So system.out.println, so it is used to print the message in Java. So system s caps, so how we have a s string s caps, in the same way system. Why? Because system also class in Java. So predefined classes in Java should always start with a capital letter. So system is also a predefined class. So s caps dot out small dot println. So in parenthesis s1 is nothing but an object. So object dot id. Okay, so id is nothing but like an instance variable. So if those are in method, so directly we can print, but if those are outside of the method but are related to class means those can be accessible with s1.id, s1.name. Okay, so dot is a member selection operator. We will discuss at the time of we discussed this in operators, right? So member selection operator. So that is a object and class example where method is defined inside the class. So class student, fields, low instance variables, and only one single method, that is a main method within the class only. If you observe the flower brackets, you will find whether it is inside or outside. Okay, so that is about example. Now we'll go and see the another example which is outside of the class. Okay, so same example, if you see the this example, and this is also the same example. So creating student class. So class student, two variables, instance variables. Okay, and public static void means string arguments. So student s1, new student, system s1.id, s1.name. Okay, so the same example, what is the difference for the previous and here? One class we define, in that only we define a main method, but here we define two classes. Means in one class we define instance variables, in other classes to test student 1. Okay, so there we can define the main method. Okay, so which means we are defining main method out of the student class, that is I am telling. So not entirely out of any class. So in Java, any method, it is a main method or other methods, different methods, that should be in class only. In the class only we have to define a method. So the outside of the class it is not possible. But the thing is, so we can separate the instance variables and methods in two different classes. Like that we can define many classes. Okay, so class student, int id string name, so parenthesis flower brackets close, that is a one class. In the same way class is test student 1, public static void main string arguments. So and this is a main method in another class. Okay, that means we are defining main method outside of the one class, not the entire class. Okay, so it is mandatory to define members. It may be variables or methods should be in class only, but it is a one class or more than one class, that is user choice. Okay, so for the previous we have only one class, but here we have a two classes, student class and test student 1. So there we can define a main method. Okay, the things are same. So we can create an object for the student class, and we can access the members of these class by the help of object of that class. Okay, that is possible. Now if you want to save this file, we have only one class, so we can save with the single class name, and when we execute javac, we have a javac student.java and java student. So like that we can execute this program. But what about this one? But what is the name we can use for executing? Okay, whether this student class or a test student 1. Okay, so there is no need of any confusion. Wherever you find a main method, even if you have hundreds of classes, hundreds of methods, okay, that is not the thing. Only one main method is there in any program. So wherever you have a main method, public static void main kind of a syntax, in that in the wherever we have this main method, with that class only we have to save the file. Okay, test student, you may have many classes, that is not the problem here, that is not a consideration. Okay, the thing is, wherever you have, in which class you have a main method, with that class name only you have to execute the program. So test student 1 dot java. Okay, so don't get confused. So you can define any number of classes, any number of methods, but only one main method. So the main method class, with that class name only you can execute the file. Okay, so how to initialize an object? How to initialize an object means it can be done in three ways. One is a reference variable, method, and construct. Okay, so reference variable, we already discussed reference variable, right? So this here, if you define without, before using a new keyword, it is only called as a reference variable. Whenever you use a new keyword, then it is treated as an object. Okay, so whenever you use a class name space object name, that is simply called as a reference variable, which means still memory is not allocated for the variable. Okay, so how initialization through reference variable means so storing the data into the object. Initialization and object means storing the data into the object. Okay, so how we store the data into normal variable, like a int a equal to 10, so that is also possible with the object like this. Okay, so class student, class is test student, we have two classes. In the test student 2 we have a public static void main, so we have to save this file with this one. Okay, it is a instance variables student s1. Okay, we are accessing, so we can assign the values to the objects. S1 dot id equal to 101, S1 dot name equal to so no. Okay, so that means how we declare a values to a normal variables, like that also we can declare a variables to the variables to the object. Okay, s1 is alone actually reference variable. Okay, s1 actually reference variable, of course yes it is an object created, but with the s1 only dot id, so s1 is alone is called as a reference variable, student s1, you can look at the half part. So reference variable s1 dot id equal to 101, that means it will go and store here only. Okay, so s1 dot name equal to so no. So how to print? System dot out dot println s1 dot id and s1 dot name. Okay, so where we try to print the 101 and so no values. Okay, so that is means so we can initialize the values to the variable, objects through reference variable. So for this class id and name we are defining with the help of s1 is a reference variable to this. Okay, so that is nothing but initializing values to the object through reference variable. Okay, we can also create a more than one object. Okay, the same example we are continuing from previous slide. So class student, class test student, but we are changing the names. So student id and name we have, and the same public static void main object creation and reference values assigning and printing. The same example we are continuing, but the difference between the previous and this one is, here we created only one object, right? S1 is only one object. Here we can create a more than one object, that is s2 also. So you can assign s1 dot id 101, s2 dot id 102, like that you can define. So this is possible in Java. So you can create more than one object in Java. A class contains any number of objects. Okay. So the second way to initialize an object is nothing but a method. Okay, so we can create a class student, int roll number, string name. These are the class, within the class means they are instance variables, and we are declaring a method. So in C we know now, so return type, method name, and parameters. Parameters means a data type and variable name. Data type and variable name. Okay, so string is there. String always should be caps first initial letter. Okay, so there we have a for this roll number. So that means instance variable can be accessed here. So where we are assigning these values r and n to the instance variables. Okay. The next we can take one more method, void display information system dot println. We are printing roll number. Okay. So previously in double quote. So this is the part. So leave this part. Double quote plus name. So like that we define now. Okay. So that is also possible like this. Okay. Roll number plus roll number we are going to print. As well as name we are going to print. Okay, so that means two double quote, two system dot out dot println statements, or two statements can be combined here. So roll number plus double quote plus name. Okay, individually also you can write system dot out dot println double quote plus roll number, system dot out dot println double quote plus name. Okay, but that can also be combined like this. Okay. So plus is a concatenation operator, double quote is for printing the data, so which is there in these variables. These are the variable names and printing data can be separated with a double quote. Okay, so that is about a class student, instance variables, two methods, insert record with the parameters, and display information, which is a consisting printing statement. Okay, so continuation, the program not end here. So continuation, so where we can create a class test student 4, and in that we have a main method. We created two objects. Okay, there we can pass the values to the method directly. Insert record is a method which consisting parameters. So there we are passing values, 111 current, 222 rn. Okay, so whenever we pass, so how to pass with the same object reference variable only, s1 dot insert record. Okay, so we are not yet executed till now. It is treated as a reference variable only. Whenever we execute, we run the program, then s1 can be treated as a object. Okay, so s1 s2, that is internal issue. So how we can say it is still in reference variable, or how we can say it is an object means until runtime s1 and s2 are treated as a reference variable only. Once we run the program, then those can be treated as a objects. The memory is located. Okay, there we can store the data also. And again s1 and s2, so student class object, reference variable we can call them. Okay, so don't confuse in reference variable and object. Reference variable means while creating the program, those can be treated as a reference variable only. While running, those can be treated as an objects. Okay, it's a responsibility of JVM to create to assign a memory to the reference variables. Okay, in previous examples we directly pass the values to the variables directly. Okay, s1 dot id 101, but when it comes to the here, we can pass the values to the method. That means we are initializing the objects through methods. Whenever we pass the values, so 111 here and current here, so those can be stored here and those can be printed here. Okay, so by the method also we can initialization means simply we are storing the data into the objects. Okay, so by the reference variable we can give the values to the object. In the same way, by the object, by the method also we can give the values to the object. That is a main point here. So that is a initialization through method. Okay, I am not executing these programs now. Okay, so this is the diagrammatic representation of how the memory is allocated for a reference variable as well as an object. Okay, so s1 and s2 initially they are a reference variable and a temporary variable. They are actually stored in stack memory in the LIFO manner. First s1 is created and after that s2 is created. So they are stored in LIFO, last in first out. First s1 is stored, first created, but s2 later added, that is last created. So LIFO it follows. Stack memory is a temporary memory where we can store the temporary data. That means like local variables are and reference variables. Okay, so whenever runtime happens, so the data can be created in heap memory. Heap memory is nothing but a memory which is used to store the permanent data. Okay, so whenever we run the program, there we have an id and a name. So for these reference variables point to the objects. Okay, this is an object 1, this is an object 1 and 2, and where the data is stored, heap memory. Okay, stack memory, heap memory, stack memory for temporary, heap memory for permanent. Okay, reference variable is a temporary which is stored in stack memory, object is a permanent, they are stored in a heap memory. This reference variable always refers to the points to the objects, that is the thing. Okay, so the third way, so how to initialize the objects, the three ways is reference variable, method and constructor. Okay, so constructor we have to discuss. So constructor is nothing but a method only. Okay, so how we define a method here? So class student and insert record is a method, display information is a method. Okay, so here also constructor is also a method. The difference is it consisting same name as the class name. Okay, if you observe here, class employee, public employee, within we have a parenthesis, right? Here what it means, if you specify parenthesis, it is actually a method. Okay, for a normal variable we don't have any parenthesis, that is a variable. If a identifier consisting, if an identifier don't have a parenthesis, it is a variable. If an identifier consisting parenthesis, it is a method. Okay, it is a class name employee. Here also we have an employee method. So constructor is a nothing but a method which consisting the same name as a class name. We discussed in depth later, but here we have a concept like initialization through constructor. Okay, that's why I'm simply briefly I'm discussing here. So third way to initialize an object is through constructor. Constructor is nothing but a method which consisting the same name as a class name. Okay, so class employee, int id, string name, same example we are following. Public employee, parameters we are defining here. So same name as a class name, id, I we are following, name and previous example only we are following, but the difference is here we use a different name, insert record, but for the constructor example we are using the same name as a class name. Okay, so public class test employee, public method. Okay, here you have to observe there what we did. So we create a reference variable for the student class where the method is exists. There with the reference variable we can call a method, there we can pass the values, right? But here we directly pass the values to the constructor. Employee e1 reference variable equal to new means we are trying to creating an object new employee. There we can directly pass the 101 and AG. Okay, so these are the values we are directly passing. We are not calling any method separately. Okay, so whenever we pass these values, we'll going to store here, will be stored here. Okay, if you want, you can access and print them also. Event.id, so event.name. So I use a tab here. So slash backslash t for a tab. So for spacing between two values printing. Okay, so through constructor also we can initialize the values. What is a constructor? Constructor is a method which consisting same name as a class name. Okay, so directly we can pass values whenever we are creating an object. Okay, so that is the thing. So how they executed, how they are differ, why we have a method and a constructor means the execution point of view there is a difference. Okay, so here we have to call a method separately. Okay, so that means we are taking more time for calling a method and assigning values, but here whenever we are trying to create an object directly we are passing, that means it takes less time, okay, than previous one. So that is the difference actually. This is the third way to initialize values to the objects through constructor. Hope you understand. And there are other ways also possible for creating an object by using a new keyword. We know till just now we know, no? So this is the only way till now we know, by using a new keyword to create an object. There are other ways by using new instance method, clone method, deserialization way, and factory method. These are the other ways that is not required now, so we will see later. Okay. And finally, anonymous object. Anonymous, what is anonymous? So if anything don't have any name, that is called as anonymous. Okay, so anonymous simply means nameless. An object which has no reference is known as an anonymous object. So it can be used at time of object creation only. So if you have used to an object only once, an anonymous object is a good approach. Only once, not for again and again. Okay. So how to create? So normal object. Let's see normal reference variable and object creation. If it is a calculation is a class. C equal to new calculation. This is a way we can create object till now. Half part is a reference variable, half part is a object creation, memory allocation, that can be done at runtime. Okay, so if you want to access the method like a fact, you can use c dot fact value passing file. Okay, but the same then can be possible with the anonymous object as new calculation alone. Anonymous object, we are not defining any reference variable, directly we use a new calculation for this example as anonymous object declaration is like this. Okay, so calling method through reference this, and calling a method through new anonymous an anonymous object is a new space calculation is a class, dot fact is a method. So these two statements with a named object, the same with anonymous object is like this. Okay, anonymous is nothing but a nameless. We are not giving any name to the object. Okay, so here even is the name of the object. Here S1 and S2 are the names of the object. That means we are giving name to an object, but here we are not giving any name to the object. That's why it is called as anonymous object. Let's say an example. Okay, so class calculation void factorial we are actually calculating. I think you know well about factorial calculation. Okay, so the concept you have to observe here, not a factorial program. Fact we are defining, and in the same class only we have a public. So along with the main method we have any number of method. So one class, two methods. In that one compulsory method is a main method. So there we are actually try to define anonymous object, new calculation. So new calculation means we are calculation class we are actually calling here, and by the class name we can call the fact, the method of the class. Okay, so that is the thing. So that means calling. So if you define a, so this is the way you can define a normal object, a calculation C, new calculation, by the C you can call a fact, but that can be replaced with this alone. So that means anonymous object, but this is only for a one time creation. So if you want to use more than one time like this, so S1 dot insert record S1 dot is a display information, like that. If you want to call more than one time, so giving a name to an object is good, but if you are calling alone one time, so anonymous object, so that means used only once and matter. So that is nothing but anonymous object. This is the way you can call it. Okay, so you can create multiple objects by one type only. So which means if you take in a variables int a, int b, they are separated with the comma. So int a equal to 10, int is a type, a is a variable, b is a variable, a equal to 10, b equal to 20. That means more than one variable we are defining with the same data type, int data type, but they are separated with comma. This is a normal variables, primitive data types and primitive variables, but that is the case also possible with the object. So like that, rectangle class name r1 is the reference variable equal to new rectangle, that means object creation, comma r2, r1 is one reference variable, r2 is a second reference variable, that they are separated with a comma, equal to new rectangle. That means for the same class rectangle we are creating more than one reference variables, okay, but they are separated with comma. That means creating multiple objects by one type only, and every time we don't want to use a rectangle again and again. We separated with a comma, we can specify reference variable names r1, r2 and so on. Then we can separate we allocate a memory also, okay, reference variables. So just an example class program. Rectangle class, length and width are the two variables. Insert is a method where we are passing the values. So calculate area, we are calculating length multiplied with width. So we have to specify main method in separate class. So class rectangle is one class, class test rectangle 2 is another class where we have a method, okay. So it's a example for the previous concept, like one type, more than one reference variable object of same type. So rectangle r1, new rectangle, comma r2. So r1 and r2 two reference variables of the same rectangle class. So r1 insert 11 comma 5, r2 insert 3 comma 5. So we are assigning like this. So that means this line can be splitted, rectangle r2 equal to new rectangle, okay. That can be also be combined like this. So they are separated with comma, that is I am telling, okay. So that's all for the day. Thank you.